This piece is entitled The Abdication of a Meatloaf Queen. She and I were in the kitchen having a serious discussion about seed crackers. She said, "Aren't these tasty?" I said, "Anything's okay with a hunk of cheese on it." She said, "The seeds scrape your intestines clean." I said, "I didn't know I have dirty intestines." She said, "You don't like anything that isn't homemade. You're spoiled, in addition to being self-involved." I said, "Let's stop talking before we end up not talking." She said, "Are you trying to tell me to shut up in my own home?" I sensed that it was time to say something endearing. I said, "I'm trying to tell you that I love you." She said, "I'm trying to tell you that I love you back." I said, "I'm trying to tell you that I love you more." She said, "You love me less." I said, "I love your meatloaf most of all." She said, "And there it is, even when words are coming out of your mouth, you're daydreaming about food going in." I said, "I can't help it if every word you say reminds me of your meatloaf." She said, "Don't be silly." I said, "When you say silly, I think of the word Philly and how you never use horse meat in your meatloaf." She said, "Oh, stop." I said, "When you say stop, I think of the word slop and how it's the opposite of your meatloaf." She said, "Now you're flattering me." I said, "When you say flattering me, I think of your juicy meatloaf splattering me as I dig into it with my greedy fork." She said, "In my 20s, I was careful not to get pregnant. I didn't want to end up in a screwball relationship. 40 years later, I'm the mother of meatloaf, trapped in a screwball relationship." I said, "You cook with love. I eat with love. It's the perfect emotional equation. Love plus love equals dinner." She said, "I can't settle for that anymore. I need to be spiritually enriched. That's why I've joined the Sisters of Vegetation and taken the vegan oath. I'll never cook with meat again." I said, "You murderer, you've murdered our dream." She said, "I'm breaking out my watercolors. I'm going to paint the stars as if they're leaves and leaves as if they're the feet of giant birds." I said, "I don't want to change." She said, "You have to change. Your mouth has been busy too long. Things going in and out like the Lincoln Tunnel. What kind of man spends his life in the Lincoln Tunnel?" I said, "One who's high on the fumes. I'll learn to cook. I'll make my own meatloaf." She said, "You do that. But remember one thing, my meatloaf recipe dies with me."